Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing well. So today we will start the new chapter in history, that is chapter number 9, socio-religious reforms. Students, in this chapter we discuss about the social and religious evils prevalent in the 19th century in India. And the next point we discuss about the contribution of education women social reforms. See, students, after 1813, the British policy of non interference in the Indian society and culture changed. This happened mainly due to the emergence of new ideas of nationalism and humanism and liberation in the 19th century. These ideas inspired British administrators to take up the challenge of reforming the Indian society. See, students, during the 200 years rule in India, the policies of the British affected the social, cultural, and political and economic life of the people of this country. Introduction of modern Western culture in India led to a new formation, a new phase in Indian society. Educated Indians who had been exposed to Western thoughts and ideas began to realize the need of reforms for the growth of national unity. So in this chapter we shall discuss about all these changes, especially women and their reforms. So let's move to our topic. Today's first topic is India in 19th century. Indian society in the 19th century was in the grip of several social religious evils. Caste system was prevalent in the many parts of the country. See, students, after the revolt of 1857, the British completely gave up the policy of social reforms. Meanwhile, educated Indians began to realize that reforms in the society and in the religious outlook of the people was a necessary precondition for the growth of national unity. Keeping this in view, they started to reform movements in different parts of the country. These movements had a positive and the lasting effect on the life of the Indian masses. So let's move to another topic, that is women's condition. See, students, the position of the woman in the society was deplorable due to the prevalence of the practice such as sati, infanticide, parda, devdasi system, polygamy, child marriage, and illiteracy. Women had to follow the customs of the husband's household after her husband's death. She was forced to live in a difficult situation as a widow or become a sati, immolating herself at the funeral fire of her husband. See, students, in this topic we discuss about the condition of women. Women were given a place of respect in the home and in the society, but not equality as we understand the term today. Hindu society began mainly the will of the male head of the family usually prevailed. Parda system was common among both Hindu and Muslim women through women of the poor was common among the ruling classes. Remarriage of widow was generally looked down upon, though it prevailed in some places. The evil practice of sati mostly prevailed in Bengal, central India, and Rajputana, and also among the upper classes. Even under the degrading conditions, some women rose to high position in a society, like Razia Sultan, Noor Jahan, etc. are the shining examples of such women. Previous chapter में हमने पंडिता रमाबाई के बारे में भी पढ़ा. You remember? She is the only woman जो उस वैदिक पीरियड में, जहाँ पर पढ़ना तक वुमेन्स को अलाउ नहीं था, वहाँ पर उस लेडी ने क्या पढ़ाई किया था? संस्कृत. डू यू रिमेंबर? संस्कृत की पढ़ाई की वजह से उनके नाम के आगे पंडिता लिखा गया था. However, such expectations did not change the life of common women. So let's move to another topic, that is social religious reforms. For a long time, the British rulers remained indifferent to the practice of these social customs. It was the first half of the 19th century the efforts were made to eradicate these practices. Many educated Indians worked to bring socio religious reforms and to improve the conditions of women. Pioneers among these social reforms were Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, and others are Keshav Chandra Sen, Mahadev Govind Ranade, Dayanand Saraswati, Jyotiba Phule, and all. See on the next page, students. See here. And Pandita Ramabai continued their work to try to improve the conditions of women and lower caste. As a result, by the second half of the 19th century, there were several reforms groups across India. Let us take a closer look at the social reforms movement in the different parts of India. See students, हम जानते हैं कि इंडियन सोसाइटी में काफ़ी सारी बुराइयां थी, स्पेशली वुमेंस की कंडीशन तो बहुत ख़राब थी. तो हमारे सोशल रिफॉर्मर्स ने, कुछ समाज सुधारकों ने ये कोशिश की कि इंडिया में इन सारी बुराइयों को ख़त्म किया जाए. तो उसके लिए डिफरेंट डिफरेंट मूवमेंट्स व डिफरेंट parts of India held in Indian society. So let me discuss. That is, first is in Bengal. Raja Ram Mohan Raja Ram Mohan Roy's name is usually listed first among the 19th century reforms concerned with the upliftment of women's status. Historians have often called him the father of modern India. He is known as the father of modern India and a champion of women's rights. He worked tirelessly to reform the Indian society. He established the Brahmo Samaj. Which Samaj? Brahmo Samaj, to work for the social welfare. The Brahmo Samaj campaigned against sati, child marriage, polygamy, caste distinctions, and untouchability. His campaign against sati around the opposition of the orthodox Hindus who attacked him bitterly. Nevertheless, he was successful in getting a ban imposed on sati in 1829 under Governor General Lord William new role through schools and prayer meetings. See students, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. He was born in an orthodox Bengali family in 1774. Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a great scholar who worked for the upliftment of women. He supported the women's education and widow remarriage and opposed child marriage and polygamy. He was a religious reformer too. He was well versed in ancient scriptures in the Hindus and also known as Persian, Arabic, and English. He was a strong companion of women's rights. His most outstanding achievement was the abolition of sati in 1829. He was also known as the father of modern India and also a champion of women's rights. Okay, so our next reformer is Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar. Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar campaigned the cause of the female education as an inspector of school. He set many schools, like 35 schools for girls. How many schools? 35 schools for girls, many of which were run in his own expenses. यानी कुछ schools तो वो अपने खुद के खर्चे से चलाते थे. Ishwar Chandra was instrumental in the setting up to the first Indian school for girls in Calcutta in 1849. His efforts against the women's education. He also opposed the polygamy and child marriage. Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar made another significant contribution by leading the campaign to legalize widow remarriage. यानी इन्होंने विडो रीमैरिज को लीगलाइज किया कर दिया था. Despite opposition from different parts of the society, he urged the British to pass the legislation enabling the Hindu widow to remarry. As a result of his effort, the Widow Remarriage Act was passed in 1856. See, it is mentioned here in line number 2nd. The marriage of widow and the first one from the upper caste was celebrated in Calcutta on 7 December 1856 under the supervision of Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar. Vidyasagar personified the best of the 19th century reforms and demonstrated an untiring will to positive social action. By the turn of the century, Swami Vivekananda, the founder of Ramakrishna Mission. See, students, Ishwarchand Vidyasagar, he was another great social reformer whose greatest contribution was for the cause of widow upliftment and education of girls. He campaigned the cause of widow remarriage. He personally took a part in the first widow remarriage that was performed in Calcutta in 1856. It was due to his effort that the Widow Remarriage Act was passed in 1856 during the tenure of Lord Dalhousie. Vidyasagar started a number of schools for See, students, by the turn of the century, Swami Vivekananda, the founder of Ramakrishna Mission. Vivekananda is also known as the founder of Ramakrishna Mission in Calcutta, gave the further impetus to the cause of the development of women by emphasizing on spiritualism. यानी आध्यात्म पर काफ़ी बिलीव करते थे विवेकानंद. ठीक है, स्पिरिचुअलिटी. ही सिंपली बिलीव ऑन स्पिरिचुअलिज्म. ठीक है, अपने उपदेशों में, अपने स्पीचेस में इन्होंने काफ़ी कुछ वुमेन्स, उनके डेवलपमेंट्स के बारे में बोला है. जब विवेकानंद स्पीच देते थे ना, तो इतना अच्छा बोलते थे कि लोग बहुत बहुत मतलब इंटरेस्ट से इनकी बातें सुनते थे. ठीक है, एंड यू रिमेंबर, आप लोगों ने छोटी क्लासेस में पढ़ा होगा कि विवेकानंद ने आई थिंक अब्रॉड के एक कंट्री में स्पीच दिया था, तो वहाँ के लोगों ने इतने अच्छे से सुना था कि लोग अट्रैक्ट होकर विवेकानंद के पीछे चल दिए थे हंड्रेड्स ऑफ किलोमीटर्स. ठीक है, सो ही वॉज ऑल्सो अ ग्रेट पर्सनैलिटी. सो लेट्स मूव टू अनदर टॉपिक, दैट इज महाराष्ट्र. In Maharashtra, the Prarthana Samaj, founded in 1867, did the same as was done in Bengal by the Brahmo Samaj and received the active support of the eminent person like Mahadev Govind Ranade and R.C. Bhandarkar. It's R.G. Bhandarkar. यानी कि जो राजा राम मोहन रॉय ने शुरू किया था ना बंगाल में, वही महाराष्ट्र में किसने शुरू किया? महादेव गोविंद रानाडे एंड R.G. भंडारकर. इन्होंने क्या किया? प्रार्थना समाज की स्थापना की थी महाराष्ट्र में, और महाराष्ट्र में इस तरह के काफ़ी रिफॉर्म्स और डेवलपमेंट प्रार्थना समाज के लोगों ने शुरू किए थे. ओके, सी स्टूडेंट्स, हियर Ranade founded the National Social Conference on focused attention on social reforms. At the same time, the phrases journalist, that is Bharmaji Malabari, captured the attention of the English reading public with his article, The Times, on the evils of child marriage and the tragedy of a forced widowhood for young woman. D.K. Karve offered a practical solution with his institutions in Pune to educate a young widow to become a teacher in girls' school. Another important reforms in Maharashtra, see here in second paragraph. Another important reformer in Maharashtra was Jyotiba Phule. He belongs to lower caste, Jyotiba Phule. He and his wife started a girls' school at Pune. He also actively campaigned for the remarriage of widow. He was supported by social reformers like Jagannath Shankar Seth, see here, that is Bhau Daji. Another reformer, that is Vishnu Shastri Pandit, formed the Widow Remarriage Association in 1850. movement. They laid great stress on a female education. Later on, Gopal Krishna Gokhale and his like companions like Gopal Ganesh and Mahatma Jyotiba Phule also contributed towards women education. The work of Mahatma Jyotiba Phule in Maharashtra was great importance. His contribution is much to improve the education to women and girls of the so-called lower caste. He was the founder of the Satya Shodhak Samaj. Jyotiba Phule, he was also the founder of Satya Shodhak Samaj. The establishment of New English School at Pune अपनी वाइफ के साथ मिलकर इन्होंने शुरू किया था इन 1880s was a landmark in the field of education in Maharashtra. Okay, so our next topic is North India. Students, we will continue this topic in our next video. So till then, enjoy your day and good day.